Oh, this coffee is so good today, Helen. I really needed this warm cup.
Me too, Eva. The weather in New York is getting quite cold today, so this is just perfect. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I had a very nice walk this morning. The city looked beautiful and it made me feel so positive. What about you?
Doing well. I had a simple breakfast and a big glass of water. But anyway, Eva, I am very excited about our topic today. Many of our listeners ask about this.
Oh, yes. Today we are talking about how to train your mouth to speak English.
Yes, this is a very common problem. Many people can read and understand English, but when they try to speak, their mouth feels heavy or stiff.
Exactly. They know the words in their head, but they cannot say them. It is just like going to the gym, but for your mouth.
That is a perfect way to say it, Eva. And to our listeners, welcome. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe. It really helps us. Now, Eva, tell us your story about how you solved this problem.
A few years ago, when I started learning a new language, I had a big problem. I understood almost everything I read and heard, but when I wanted to speak, everything stopped. I remember one day, I went to a small coffee shop to order a coffee and a piece of cake. In my head, I practiced the sentence, I want a hot coffee and a chocolate cake, please. It was so easy in my head. But when I stood in front of the cashier, my heart started beating fast. I opened my mouth, but no sound came out. My mouth felt heavy, and my tongue felt too big. Embarrassed, I just pointed at the menu and said, this and this. When I went home, I realized something important. Speaking a language is a physical skill, not just a mental one. My mouth muscles were lazy because I only studied quietly in my head. So I started to train my mouth every day with 3 simple habits. First, I read out loud. Every morning, I took a simple English book and read it with my voice, not just my eyes. I opened my mouth wide to get used to the movement of English words. Second, I copied sounds. I watched TV shows, listened to one simple sentence, paused the video, and repeated it. I tried to copy the exact rhythm and mouth shapes. Third, I talked to my dog, Max. Every evening, I told him about my day in simple English. Max didn't care about my grammar, so I felt completely relaxed. I did these 3 things every day for 2 months. Slowly, my tongue felt more flexible. The next time I went to that coffee shop, I looked at the cashier and said, "Hi, can I get a hot coffee and a chocolate cake, please?" The words came out so smoothly. It felt amazing.
Oh, wow, Eva, that was a truly beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really love how you explained everything so clearly.
Thank you, Helen. It was a very real experience for me, and I still remember how hard it was at the beginning.
I completely understand that feeling. Actually, I think almost every English learner understands that feeling. That heavy mouth feeling is so common. People often think they are not good at English, or they think they are not smart enough, but that is not true at all. Like you said, it is just a physical thing.
Exactly. It is a physical thing. Many people study grammar for hours, but they do it in silence. They read books in silence, they write in silence, so their brain is working, but their mouth is just sleeping.
That is a great way to put it. The mouth is sleeping. We need to wake it up. And I loved the part of your story about your dog, Max. That is so sweet and actually very smart.
Yes, Max was the best listener. He was always happy to hear me speak. He didn't care about my pronunciation or my prepositions. He just loved hearing my voice.
Right, because when we practice with people, we often feel scared. We feel stressed. We think, oh, what if I make a mistake? What if they laugh at me? But with a pet, or even just alone in your room, there's no pressure. You can make 100 mistakes, and it's totally fine.
Exactly. The pressure is the biggest enemy of speaking. When you are stressed, your muscles get tight. And when your muscles are tight, it's even harder to make sounds. You have to feel relaxed.
That is so true. Relaxation is key. I also liked how you said your mouth felt tired after 5 minutes of reading out loud. That is a very real thing. It proves that you were using muscles that you do not normally use.
Yes, it really is a workout. When we speak our native language, we use our mouth in a specific way, but English uses different movements, different tongue positions, and different lip shapes. So we have to build those new muscles.
Definitely. It's just like training for a sport. You cannot run a marathon on your first day. You have to start small, run a little bit every day, and build your strength. Your story shows exactly how to do that step by step. It's very inspiring.
I hope we can help our listeners see that they can do it too. It just takes a little bit of daily practice.
Yes, so let's talk about some of the ideas from your story, Eva. I want to break them down so our listeners can understand how to use them in their daily life.
That is a great idea, Helen. Where should we start?
Well, let's start with the phrase heavy mouth. You said your mouth felt heavy. Why does that happen?
Actually, it happens because our native language has different mouth habits. For example, some languages do not require you to open your mouth very wide. People can speak by moving their lips just a little bit. But in English, we have to open our mouth much wider for many sounds, like the ah sound in apple or cat. You have to really drop your jaw.
Ah, yes, drop your jaw. That means opening your mouth down, like this. Apple, cat. If you don't drop your jaw, the sound is not clear.
Exactly. And if your mouth muscles are not used to opening wide, they feel lazy, they feel heavy. So when you practice, you must focus on moving your lips and opening your mouth.
Right, so the first step is to wake up those muscles, and you did this by reading out loud. I want to emphasize that phrase, read out loud. It is not read quietly. You have to make sound.
Yes, read out loud means speaking the words so that other people can hear you, or at least so you can hear yourself. It is very simple. You can take any text, it does not have to be difficult. Actually, simple text is better. You can use a children's book or a simple news article.
And when you read out loud, you should do it slowly, right?
Yes, very slowly. This is not about speed, it is about the movement. You want to feel your tongue touching your teeth. You want to feel your lips rounding. For example, for the W sound, like in water or walk, you have to round your lips. Water, walk. You must do it slowly so your mouth can learn the shape.
That is a very good tip, slowly and clearly. And then you talked about copying sounds. In English learning, some people call this shadowing, but we can just think of it as copying, like a child copies their parents.
Exactly. Copying is the most natural way to learn. When we were children, we did not study grammar rules first. We just listened to our parents and copied their sounds.
Yes, and you said you used TV shows for this. You listened to a sentence, paused, and repeated it. Why is the pause important?
The pause is very important because it gives you time. It gives you time to think about the sound and then try to make it with your own mouth. If you don't pause, you just hear more and more words and you cannot focus on the muscle practice. So listen, pause, repeat.
I love that. Listen, pause, repeat. It is a very simple pattern. Anyone can do this at home with a YouTube video, a movie, or even a podcast like ours.
Absolutely. Our listeners can pause this video right now, select a sentence we just said, and repeat it out loud. That is a perfect way to practice.
Yes, please do that. Pause us and repeat. It is a great exercise. And the third thing you mentioned was talking to your dog, Max. You said you talked about your day. This is about daily routine talk, right? Simple sentences.
Yes, just simple, everyday English. You don't need to talk about complex things like politics or science. Just talk about what you did. I had coffee. I went to work. I am tired. This food is good. These are the sentences we use most often in real life. If you can say these easily, you will feel much more confident.
That makes complete sense. We need to practice the words we actually use every day. If we practice difficult words that we never use, it doesn't help our daily communication.
We want to increase our daily communication reflex.
Exactly. It's all about everyday English.
You know, Eva, your story makes me think of my own experience. When I started doing podcasts, my tongue would often get tied because I spoke too fast.
Oh, I know that feeling. It feels like your tongue gets stuck. How did you fix it, Helen?
I had to do simple vocal warm-ups. I practiced tongue twisters slowly, like red leather, yellow leather. It really forces your tongue to move quickly between different positions. I also did a classic actress trick, speaking with a clean pencil between my teeth.
Oh, the pencil trick. That sounds funny, but it really works because it creates resistance. When you take the pencil out, speaking feels so light and free.
Exactly. It's like training with weights. For me, my daily habit now is singing in the car. I turn on my favorite songs and sing out loud. It really helps with the rhythm and linking words together naturally.
That is a wonderful, stress-free way to practice. Our methods are different, but the goal is the same, making speaking a physical, daily habit.
Yes, first, read out loud slowly. Drop your jaw and move your lips.
Second, copy sounds. Listen to a simple sentence from a TV show or a video, pause it, and repeat it exactly as you heard it.
Third, practice in a low-stress environment. Speak to your pet or just talk to yourself in your room.
And finally, try fun exercises like singing along to songs or practicing tongue twisters to make your tongue more flexible. These are all simple actions you can do right now at home.
Now, let's listen again to Eva's story. Listening a second time is extremely helpful to make the sounds, rhythm, and pauses stick in your mind.
Yes, repetition is key. Let's listen to the story one more time.
A few years ago, when I started learning a new language, I had a big problem. I understood almost everything I read and heard, but when I wanted to speak, everything stopped. I remember one day, I went to a small coffee shop to order a coffee and a piece of cake. In my head, I practiced the sentence, "I want a hot coffee and a chocolate cake, please." It was so easy in my head. But when I stood in front of the cashier, my heart started beating fast. I opened my mouth, but no sound came out. My mouth felt heavy and my tongue felt too big. Embarrassed, I just pointed at the menu and said, "This and this." When I went home, I realized something important. Speaking a language is a physical skill, not just a mental one. My mouth muscles were lazy because I only studied quietly in my head. So I started to train my mouth every day with 3 simple habits. First, I read out loud. Every morning, I took a simple English book and read it with my voice, not just my eyes. I opened my mouth wide to get used to the movement of English words. Second, I copied sounds. I watched TV shows, listened to one simple sentence, paused the video, and repeated it. I tried to copy the exact rhythm and mouth shapes. Third, I talked to my dog, Max. Every evening, I told him about my day in simple English. Max didn't care about my grammar, so I felt completely relaxed. I did these 3 things every day for 2 months. Slowly, my tongue felt more flexible. The next time I went to that coffee shop, I looked at the cashier and said, "Hi, can I get a hot coffee and a chocolate cake, please?" The words came out so smoothly. It felt amazing. Welcome back. I hope listening to that story a second time was helpful.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for listening today. And thank you, Helen, for sharing your great tips too.
My pleasure, Ava. And to all our wonderful listeners, thank you for spending your time with us. We hope this episode brings some positive energy into your day.
Before you go, we have a question for you. How do you practice speaking English? Do you read out loud, sing, or talk to your pet? Let us know in the comments below.
Yes, please share your thoughts. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Keep moving those mouth muscles, practice a little bit every day, and be gentle with yourself. You are doing great.
Absolutely. Stay warm, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.